Is ready?
Yeah, already.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello guys. Welcome to Creative Living. I'm Max.
And I'm Amy, and today we're going to talk about crunch time. So, moments in our artistic lives where we really have to show up. So, auditions, performances. What else is an example?
Filming jobs.
Yeah.
You know, on the day. Like, I just shot a wedding a couple of weeks ago, and you've just got to be there, getting all those moments, the kiss.
Yeah.
You know, the first dance.
Yeah. I feel like for me, crunch time is often like when I'm being watched, when someone else is watching me. Like as an artist, I do all my stuff basically alone. And so crunch time is when I bring other people in to watch me do my work, kind of.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when you're on show.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've just got to get it done.
Yes. You just have to do your thing.
Do it. Even if you're not fully sure of what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted to talk about that because tomorrow I'm doing my workshop. So for me, that's definitely a crunch time because I'm putting my face out there. I'm talking. It's very much people are watching me. And obviously as a writer, our crunch times are often not face to face. So
Yeah.
I would say normally for a writer, crunch time might be handing your work off to publishers, to an editor, having your work be seen.
Mm-hmm.
But tomorrow I'm being seen, like my face is being seen.
Yeah.
I'm on the spot talking about creative living and writing. And I found it interesting, like the coping mechanisms, how I deal with that, how we deal with nerves as an artist, how we can show up and give our best performance.
Yeah. Actually, let's start with how we deal with nerves, because I think that's a really good one and everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
One really great tip I learned when I was studying acting, and I've always used it with public speaking or anything. Not like I do that much public speaking, but when I have to be on show, is give yourself an exit. So if you can give yourself permission to leave and go, it's fine, you will be loved anyway, you are worthy of love whether you do it or you don't, it's actually amazing how much you can relax.
That's
when you
cool.
can look at all the exits in the room and know that you could walk out any of those doors whenever you wanted. At that moment you had the freedom to do it. Suddenly standing in front of all those people and speaking is a choice. And it's amazing how much the nerves can just, well, I mean, they won't disappear completely, but when you suddenly feel like you're not held against your will,
Yes.
it's a lot easier to just stand up there and do what you love and what you want to do and want to say.
I love that.
It's really good.
The power of choice has been coming into my life a lot recently when we noticed that we're actually making a choice to do things.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, last week because I was
Yeah.
talking about how, like, when we for me, my choice to be, you know, what traditionally might be looked at the mercy of the publishing industry, like I'm some lowly writer who just puts my book into these publishers and means nothing. But actually, in reality, it's a choice. And it's my choice that I give these publishers my writing, and it brings back power. And just like you're saying, if you understand that crunch time is a choice, you've put yourself in that situation because you've chosen to be in that situation, like that's so much power.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is you're bringing the power back to you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you can stand in front of people suddenly and get excited about it. And that, yeah, you will always have a little bit of adrenaline pumping through you, but it doesn't seem so big anymore when it's coming from that place.
A place of power.
Yeah.
It's like nervous excitement and, you know, excitement to do what you're born to do rather than like, fuck.
Yes. Another thing I noticed with nerves is they can often be bigger when you're feeling self-conscious. And you don't necessarily know that you're even feeling self-conscious when they're rushing through your body. You're more just aware of how you're feeling. But when you can come back to what your message is, that is another really good tool I found to handle whatever anxiety or nerves you're feeling at crunch time, is like just coming back to the message, coming back to the value that you're offering, coming back to the importance of what you're doing. That can often just take away from, oh my God, here I am standing up here in front of all these people, and am I dressed okay, and do I look okay, and is my voice okay, and like all of these things that can be running through your head, and suddenly you're aware of your breathing and you're like, oh,
that's the worst part. And you get dry mouth.
Yes, or too much saliva. Oh, it's just the worst. But like when you can come back to when you can come back to the value that you're offering
Yes.
and why you believe in what you're saying,
Yes.
then all of that stuff suddenly goes
Just
a
a
lot.
bit background.
Yeah, it goes quiet.
I found this morning when I was journaling that I was drawn to reminding myself of all the other times that I've stepped into the unknown, that I've stepped into fear and overcome it. And I just wrote a big fucking list. And I was like, fuck, I do this all the time.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
It's really fun. I felt really great about myself. In fact, I'm going to list some stuff now.
Can you please do it?
I reminded myself of the time that I have directed plays. I've directed 2
Yes,
plays.
you did!
And I stood in front of those actors every day and
Not
I was a
only
leader.
directed, you produced the fucking
Yeah,
thing as
did a
well.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
And how I had to sit there, you know, through rehearsal period. I showed up as a leader and a director every single time, even though for the first time, I'd never done it before, and I just had to pretend I knew what I was doing, getting the respect of my peers.
You looked like you knew what you were doing.
Oh man, it was, yeah, I showed up
Yeah.
at crunch time. And then on the nights, I was reminiscing on how fucking nervous I was on the nights. And I had to introduce the play every single night, and I would just stand there and be like, this is the best play ever. And I was like, it was just so nerve-wracking, but
looked like
every
a boss
night I
lady.
did it. And I did it twice. I directed another show and I acted in that show too. And I showed up, and then those moments really like remind me of just how strong I am and how much I can step into the fear and do what I want to do, especially when it comes to art.
Yeah.
I reminded myself of how I ran half marathons and how I didn't think that was possible. I reminded myself of all the jobs that I've started. You know, those horrible first day nerves, but you do it.
Yeah.
When I started doing personal training, I turned up to classes and I had no idea what I was doing.
Yes, so true.
And I did them. I didn't die. And so listing all this stuff, reminding yourself of all the times you've faced fear and overcome it, like that's just been really helpful to me today. It reminds me of what a strong person I am.
I love that so much. I think I'm going to do this.
Do you want to have a
Yeah.
try right now? Or do you need time?
I think you put me on the
That's
spot
okay,
here.
sauce.
Yeah.
The crunch time.
What value am I offering? Yeah, no, I'll have to
Try
think
them
about
out.
that one. Maybe I'll do it for next video.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll bring
Yeah, I found that really useful. Also, something that I'm really focusing on, and I've been working with my coach, is being in my body and making sure that physiologically I'm all good to go. So my breath is my own breath and not ragged, and just deep and in control, and just making sure I'm okay physically.
I know a lot of actors who have their sort of routine before they go on set or before they act, and a lot of it's meditation, breathing, having moments of quiet. Some have a song that they they listen
cute.
to,
I like that.
Just one that gets them in the right headspace.
Yeah.
Those little things can often, if you can reset yourself before you step out, that's often a really, really good thing, because everything can go quiet. Yeah. What other aspects were we going to talk about other than nerves?
I did have other stuff to say.
Yeah.
Crunch
I've gone
time,
blank.
showing up. Yeah, my mind's like real mushy today.
Well, that's it, guys.
No, seriously, there was stuff I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I know. We had like a
So,
whole
like
list.
crunch time, we're talking about showing up, dealing with nerves.
Oh, trusting. Okay, trusting yourself.
Okay, cool.
Let's do that one. So, there comes a time where suddenly a dream and a vision that you have becomes your reality. And it could just be in terms of a workshop or an audition or a small job or, your first wedding or whatever. And you have to trust that the skills that you've developed and the lessons that you've learned and the visions that you've created in your mind will support you when you suddenly have to step up and do it.
Yes.
And that can be really hard as well, because we all think everyone else knows what they're doing and we're the only ones that don't. But in actuality, you've just got to trust what you do know and trust that there are things that you don't know about what you're doing, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that you
are not qualified.
not qualified and not able to give value.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really hard one. I mean...
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's one of the biggest lessons we'll ever learn, is having faith in what we do and having faith in ourselves and knowing that we can show up.
Yeah, and I mean, as an actor, this is another thing through my acting course, was that you do the work, you do the character work, you do the script work, you do the scene work, you do all the work in rehearsal, and then when you step out there, you should let all of it go, and you should just trust the process and trust that you've got it there inside of you. All that work should just be able to flow out quite naturally. You shouldn't force anything.
Yes.
And that way you're also open to things going wrong and being able to problem solve.
Yes.
Whereas if you're in still a state of like holding on to what you thought something was going to be, and the way
That's really important.
and the way that performance was going to go, or the way that film set was meant to be, or the way that workshop was meant to go, and things like that, or the way that meeting was meant to go, then you're not
danger zone.
Yeah, but then you're not able to accept what's being offered to you, and to just be flexible and go with it and be fluid for, you know. Yeah, so it's a good one.
That's a really good one. For me, that's really good because and I think as artists we're very imaginative, and we love to like see what's about to happen. Like we're kind of the best at that of all the peoples. And we'll visualize, and I've done this and I've been careful about it. Like I will visualize what tomorrow's going to look like. I've seen people ask me certain questions, and why, like, that boxes me in. It stops me being able to receive gifts in the moment from people. If I've got a structured plan of how I want to go and it has to go like this, it means that my room for failure is huge. And I don't want to feel like that at all. I want to have room to be flexible. I want to have the space to change what I'm talking about, to respond to people. And I just think that's such good advice, because we are so good at visualizing exactly what we want, and all it does is it sets us up for failure.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Because we cannot see the future.
No, you can't. And being able to look at everything that's offered to you as a gift, which is what you just said, is so good. Even if it's not something that you saw coming, not the way you planned, an unfriendly opinion, whatever, if you can look at it,
hey Frodo!
He's come back from
What
the war.
He's a gift.
He is a gift.
Hey baby!
Hey! Oh, he's happy. But if you can look at all of those things like gifts and use that to your advantage, just say yes, be a yes man in the moment, then you'll find that things can often turn out for the better.
Yes, 100%.
And be more interesting and less structured and more intuitive.
Yeah, and you're going to learn more that way anyway.
Yeah, you are. What else? Other aspects of crunch time? There was so much.
I'm honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm so done.
Our brains are just this week.
I feel like we've given some good content.
I feel like that's been pretty good. All right. Well, if anyone has any questions,
we'll put them next week.
Yeah, we'll redo it. We can do part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
If there's
people are
stuff.
interested in crunch time.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good cover.
Yes.
And also, Frodo's drinking is
He's a
probably
lot
a
of
nice
water.
way to... Just listen.